Hello everyone and welcome to the second episode of the Tea Talk, and today we have a guest lecturer from Poland, Sylwia Przytuła. Hello, thank you for coming here. How have you been enjoying Finland so far?
Oh, thank you for invitation. That's a great idea to be here. That's a great experience for me as a beginner of being a movie star. I've been the first time here in Finland, and so far everything is great besides the weather, which is much better in Poland right now. But still a new experience and different environments and different style of lecturing here. So great.
It's great to have you here. You're from Wrocław University?
Yes.
So could you tell the people watching what do you teach in your university?
My major is international human resource management, specifically expatriate management and cross-cultural management, and sometimes psychology of management, because dealing with people, you need to have knowledge concerning their behavior, attitudes, emotions, intelligence. So these are the elements that we should take into consideration while lecturing about human resource management.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of this combining, because psychology is really important. What do you think is the biggest difference between the regular human resources and the international human resources management, do you think?
The difference is cross-cultural issues.
Okay.
Yeah, dealing with people in Japan is not the same as managing people in France, for instance. And it's not only about the non-verbal communication. It's also about the style of presentation, attitude to work, being on time on the meeting. Yeah, so it's different meaning of time in different countries. So I would say that's the biggest difference.
Yeah, and this is something we all learn the hard way in the international business, because everyone has their different work ethics. And so how would you describe your town where you teach, Wrocław? What do you think of it?
Wrocław is very, I would say, cosmopolitan city. There are 5 universities there, so many students from all over the world. Everyone speaks English, so please feel free to come here. You are more than welcome. It's very sunny. It's sunny. There are many activities for students there. There are specific clubs and pubs where you have a great discount as a student. So you are more than welcome. Come.
So you already told about your town. What do you think of Poland as what's different about Poland compared to other Central European, like Germany and Austria and countries like this? What's Poland's edge?
We are still treated as a bridge.
Yeah. So
a country in between East and West, and that's true, because we are like a channel. We are at the Western European, if it's about the economy and market right now. So all these microeconomic statistics says that it's getting better. So our position is more into a Western part of the Europe. But if it's about mentality and say the attitudes and some other social customs, we are more to Eastern European countries. For American companies, the added value of Poles is highly qualified people due to so many universities which are on a high level, and of course highly engaged employees. So we are hardworking, which is proved by many reports like KPMG and Deloitte and Touch. So every year they issue a new report. They prove that Poles are very good employees.
Yeah. This is what you told us in the lesson, that over 100 or 300 plants are over?
New plants arose every year.
It's a lot. So you said that Poles are great employees. What about entrepreneurship? Because that is something that's constantly being told us, be entrepreneurs. It's a hard start, but you can be your own boss. So what about entrepreneurship in Poland? Is it common, or
isn't getting better?
Hmm?
Since the last few years, we have a special support from government if it's about startups.
Yeah.
So it's getting better, but it's still not as high level as here in Finland, as
Yeah.
far as I know. But we are on the best way, and this way is increasing.
It's getting better.
Mhm.
It's getting better. So in Poland, people speak Polish, of course. So something I was thinking, because you're a growing international economy.
Mhm.
So how is this international environment? How could I say, fostered? How many languages do people usually learn? Is it very common for people to leave Poland, or is it more common to stay in those big international companies? What do you think?
There are many foreign investors that appreciate that Polish people speak several languages, especially English and German, as it's close by. It's our a neighbor. Of course, in many of these international corporates, the corporate language is English.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you're a Pole or a French or Spaniard. If you speak English, you will find a job everywhere. And there are also many universities, as I mentioned, and the university English-speaking students are very common. So.
Okay, so it's great that lots of people speak English. I
Of
think.
course, you should have speak Polish a little bit, as on the market if you'd like to buy some vegetables, as it here.
Yeah, same.
Yes, not everyone speak English in the street.
Yeah.
But generally in the city, in the market, it's quite common
Okay.
to find someone who may help you with English.
So what do you think of Poland overall economically? You think, is it going better? Is it going bad? What do you think? Like you said, lots of investors, but what of Polish goods? Do Polish goods do well in international markets, or?
I need to be politically correct.
Everything's fine here. I mean, I'm not judging anything. Just
as a Polish ambassador of the Polish culture, I would say we are good in agriculture projects, so we're well known.
Yeah.
If it's about production, it's not like here. I've read that only 10% of the whole country is used for agricultural issues. Yeah, the rest is forest. So in Poland it's much bigger, so we are agricultural country, but still the quality of the products needs to be improved.
Yeah.
But we try to follow some standards, international standards. We need to follow the TQM and some ISO regulations, so it's on the worldwide level.
Yeah, and there's a lot of EU regulations. Then it's
yes.
You hear you hear both sides. Some say these are overall positive, and then there's the side who say these are overall negative. It's always away from economics for a bit. One thing that really piqued my interest in your slides is Poland is a part of NATO, which it absolutely is, and Finland has a long time been like, do we want to be part of NATO? And now it seems to be growing, that a lot more people want to be part of NATO. Do you have any comments on that? Like, how do Polish people, do you think, feel about NATO?
I don't know. I do not have a specific sentence on it. I'm not very good in the military and safe issues, but I think everybody says that being a part of NATO, it gives you extra safe feeling of safety. Yeah, so I think we are safe because we believe in NATO, but you never know.
Yeah, that is true.
The case.
Yeah, that's the point in Finland. We have our own military, but people say it's not enough. Maybe we should join NATO. So that's a point of discussion. So, but Poland in the European Union, Poland is a very big player, and I'm not I don't know everything, but Poland has been very critical of EU, and especially with the migration crisis, I've heard a lot of talk. So, what makes Poland so different with, for example, Germany, who are usually been very open to migration and immigrants, and Poland has been more like this? No, maybe we don't want.
No,
this.
it's not a Polish point of view.
Okay.
That what you've heard from the media and from newspapers.
Yeah.
It's a government point of view. This government is very new and also surprising what they are doing right now. If it's about migration flow, we always took and be open to foreigners. Always, we always have different minority.
Yeah.
I do not really understand why they are so offended right now, and they are so against to migrants, but not so many people can really understand the philosophy of the governing party right now.
Yeah, so it's a governmental issue, not all Polish people
We should
agree.
do, our best to make people feel comfortable in our country, as we were always perceived as a country which is very open. As we all remember the tough time for Poland when we were very closed, and we had many friends, especially Germans and the Nordic countries, who were very open to Poles.
Yeah.
So now we are in this situation. We need to give a hand to someone else, paying back, and it's something incredible. And we do not really understand. I mean, majority of the society do not really understand why the line of government is like this.
Okay. Yeah. So it's good to clear it up. So it's not. Yeah.
So it's not the Polish.
Not the Polish
point
people.
of
It's
view.
the government. Yeah. Okay. So something I wanted. This is more leading question. So who are Poland's biggest trading partners? Because in Finland our trading partners are Russia and Germany. That gives us direction. So what about Poland? Is it also Germany and Russia? Or?
Germany, it's our closest neighbor, and then Czech Republic, France also.
Okay.
France also, and with Ukrainians. Ukraine is a very new market for us. It's also a very big country. So we are now more open into the east.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are many Ukrainian students, many Ukrainians who come to Poland, and they perceive this country as a new challenge for them, as the situation, macroeconomic and political situation in Ukraine is similar like it was in Poland 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So they are in the same stage of development.
Okay. So they might take some notes and do something better. And
Yes.
So because Finland, we have Russia as our biggest trading partner. Russia is a bit of a hot topic for some people. So what do you think? Does Poland look favorably to Russia, or are you more critical? Because Russia has been a lot of in the media lately. So what do you think Polish people think of Russia?
It's like the same as it's government point of view.
Yeah.
They are more to be Russian friends right now, while the rest of Poles think as the rest of the world. Yeah, that we should be very careful if it's about doing business.
Yes.
Doing business or politics with the Russian, as it has not so many changes. Still, several years ago. So again, government is something different than the Polish perspective on this, and you may see it in different media, in newspapers, in reports which are provided by different institutions like KPMG or SNY, Ernst & Young, Deloitte, and some social funds.
Yeah.
What are the reports? What people say? So completely different point of
it's important
view.
It's important to take your information from many different sources.
It's understandable, that you probably hear from media some exaggerated information, and that's the right side, that's the right party, and the rest is quite normal.
Okay.
And we feel like more Europeans not Eastern, very Eastern Europeans.
Yeah, because that was something I was going to ask. Is big thing was that Eastern Europe is growing faster than Western Europe, especially very close to us. Estonia is doing really well, 30% increase in some fields. It's magnificent. And you said that Ukrainians come to Poland, they learn because they're changing too. So, but you said on the lesson that Poland is Central Europe. I think a lot of people might think Poland is Eastern Europe. So what's the difference? Why is Poland Central Europe, not Eastern Europe? Is it only the economic growth, or is it something else?
I would say it's the center. It's Central Europe, not Eastern. If it's about, as I mentioned, like social, religious, and the customs, traditions. So we are more rooted in Eastern European religion, tradition, and history. Yeah. But if it's about macroeconomics issues, we are center of the Europe.
Yeah.
Of course, we are still far away from France and the old European countries, like France and Germany, but we are on a good way to catch them.
Yeah, you are one of the biggest economies in Europe.
As you remember, 4 years ago, Poland was called a green island on the map of after crisis, 2012, 2011, as green island, while the other countries completely decrease if it's about GDP dynamics. We were green above the zero.
Yeah, so it's something Polish magic, something about it. But I had a question, it slipped my mind. I'll jump back to it. But you said religion and tradition. So, and Poland, as you said on the lesson, is very religious. Maybe not the 95, but way over 50%. And I think that's pretty interesting because a lot of European countries are more atheistic. So is it common to see the religious aspects in like regulations or laws or in daily life, or is it just that people do inside their houses and churches?
I'd say the religious values are visible on a daily basis in the way people behave, in the way people treat each other, in the way in CVM, for instance, they discuss with themselves. It's not only about seeing people in the churches, but also that's the way, Catholic way and mentality. We closed the shops. There are new regulations that cause that every second Sunday is closed for shopping. That's something new for us, as we are at the very at the very beginning of the capitalistic countries. If we compare it with Germany or France, so every day we worked, even Sunday, and right now it's changing as they close the shopping centers on Sundays, and Sundays should be devoted to religious practices or small sociable way of life. So maybe that's the sign. But if it's about younger population, Y and Z population, they're not so much rooted in religion. Yeah. So maybe that's the European direction with more atheistic ideas.
Because it's getting
spread over the world.
It's getting international, more and more international. Everything's bringing it closer together, the internet and stuff. But I hope that people don't lose their roots. I'm not saying religion is the only root, but still keep their values and cultures. And what recently happened in Finland, usually we had certain times when you couldn't keep your shops open, and it freed a few months ago, and it completely changed how businesses operate. They actually we can keep shops open after 7 o'clock or something like that. So it changed the dynamic. It's interesting. I think change is good. It can be bad, but it's interesting always. So I had some questions. So back to your city, Wrocław. I'm butchering the pronunciation. So 5 universities. So is your university the largest in the city, or?
No, the largest is University of Wrocław, where you may study like philology, history, sociology,
Social sciences.
The social sciences.
Yeah.
Then we have medical university,
Mhm.
University of Economics and Polytechnics,
Okay.
and also many private business schools.
Yeah.
There still exist, but I'm saying about the public universities.
Yeah, in Finland we have it's called a university town, a town that has a university or University of Applied Sciences, but 5 universities, it's way more than we usually
Sounds
do.
more serious.
So your university was quite large, 300 or was it 500
It
international?
was 18,000 students
In total.
in total, yeah, and 500 academics,
Okay.
like teachers.
That is a lot of people.
Yeah, we have a long history, like 70 years old.
Yeah.
70 years old. So.
And you
And
are,
the whole Wrocław city is like 650,000
okay.
inhabitants. So it's great,
Yes.
great amount of it.
And it's in southern Poland.
In southern Poland, it's called sometimes a Venice of the south, due to many rivers and more than 100 bridges into the city. So it's worth seeing.
Okay. Well, I think we are. Our
More
time
than
is running
invited.
out. Our time is running out. But thank you very much for this interview, and it was great having you here, giving us the lesson.
That was my pleasure.
And thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.